Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. It's Friday. Woohoo! Friday! And I'm here in my stamping classroom. I wish you were here with me too, but this is what it is. And I'm so happy that you're joining me live. So I have a few things to cover today, including items from our retired list and some fun coloring projects for you. So I hope that you're able to join us live, and if not, just let me know if you are watching the replay. Oh, a few people are joining on. That's wonderful. So anyways, once you're here, just say hi. I'm going to try to keep up with the comments, but I love feeling like I'm not just alone here in my basement stamping. So please just come on in and say hi when you're here. I'm going to flip you around. You're going to see my beautiful ceiling for a second, and then you'll see the projects that we're working on here. Come on, turn around. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you, oh, it's a little bit more zoomed in than when I practiced here. Okay, so we've got our in colors that are leaving us. Hi, Sharon, it's good to see you. We have some in colors that have been amazing, bright, sunny, happy colors, and they are leaving us. So be sure to get these before they are gone. And that means the papers, the stamp pads, but mostly the re-inkers. So I made this card. Hi, Sandy. I made this card so that you guys could have a reminder. Get those re-inkers before they sell out, because they're starting to sell out fast. So while people are kind of joining on here, I'm going to talk about a couple of different things. First of all, I hope you saw my videos that turned this horrible list. I don't even know, how can you possibly read that, right? Turn that horrible list into a very useful visual display of what's actually retiring in the catalog. So make sure I did 4 different videos. So I thought there was just going to be 3, and then I forgot about doing the beginner brochure as well. The most urgent are these items from the back of the catalog. Those are our accessories. They come from overseas. They're not made in the States. So once they're gone, they're gone. And there's lots of things that are going, including, I don't know if you caught that our snail adhesive is also retiring. So be sure to get your refills before they're gone for good. I have a bunch in stock, so if you want, you can have some of those as well. But don't count on those. Just let me know as soon as you can, because those are selling out really fast too. So in the beginning part here, we've got more of our stamps. These ones are, what am I trying to say? They are made in Utah, in the States, so they're kind of made to order. And we don't have to worry about those selling out too far in advance of June 2nd. So if you want, you can kind of wait on those. However, if there's a coordinating die set, that die set might sell out sooner than later. So you want to be sure to get things in a timely manner, especially if you want them, okay? So I have a couple other things I'm going to share with you too before we get started stamping. Last month's paper pumpkin was stinking adorable. I really love this kit, and I hope you loved it too if you got it. If you didn't get it, then you might have gotten a little surprise from me in the mail or in your packet, and that would be one of these cards that you can make. Now, in their kit, they have instructions where you can use the stamps and make these clouds in behind here and do all kinds of layering, stamping. Here you're making texture on the ground. Now I didn't do that stamping for you because I wanted to show you that you can make these cards with any stamp set that you have for sayings in your craft space, and then you can just use the little die cuts to put together the card. So a lot of my loyal customers have received these in their little packets, so be sure to put these together. I'll post pictures of these afterwards as well, but this is how you would assemble your cards. And if you want to get your hands on some refill kits, I have quite a few on hand, and that would make a whole bunch of these. I think it's a total of 12 cards, 12 envelopes, including 4 of each of the 3 designs and envelopes. And the 4th design is here. I'll show you. Oh, it's so cute. So this one, I don't know, can you see those little raindrops? This one has the little raindrops too. And then this one has little epoxy circles on there. So this one is really adorable and allows for a lot of different customization because it comes pre-printed with that. And then this is a die cut that goes over top with dimensionals. So of course you could do all kinds of things with these boots, like what we did the other month when we put the the dog just came downstairs and we put the glossy, what is it, not dazzling diamonds, what is it? Okay, come on, Sandy, help me out. Do you remember what we did? It is called, it's going to come to me halfway through this video and then I'll just blurt it out. Gotta love live, right? Anyways, you can make these boots shiny. You could snip them off into different pieces. You could make all different kinds of cards, and if you want, you can actually look online. There's a ton of different variations with these cards. So really lots of fun things you can do with this kit. Only $15 for the refill, and that makes Crystal Effects. Sharon, you get the prize. Woohoo! Thank you, Sharon. I'd be up in the middle of the night just thinking, oh, Crystal Effects! So you can make all different kinds of projects with these, way more than 12 cards, but if you want a refill kit, it's only $15. Wink of Stella is a good idea. That would look good too, Sharon, but we did use Crystal Effects to get that shiny look on our boots and our umbrella the other month. Okay, let me clean up my mess here. So again, I've got lots of those refill kits on hand, $15 including shipping and handling and tax. And that's pickup from my house in South Edmonton. But yeah, $15 is such a good deal. Okay, then I go to this month's kit. Hi, Robin. We've got amazing projects this month. And so timely. I can't even believe how timely these are. So this is My Wonderful Family. It creates 8 cards and envelopes, and these cards are really beautiful. I have one extra of these kits, so if you want it, just let me know. This kit is a full kit, and it includes the stamp set, as well as the ink spot, which is Pear Pizzazz, and the supplies to make all these different cards. So there's 2 different styles. The first one here is a really fun fold up, and it says family where life begins and love never ends. And then this one here is a fun fold that opens up this way. And I have to read you this saying because I can't believe that we cover it up with a leaf, but do different designs. There's a ton of different alternative designs online where it doesn't cover up this beautiful saying, which says, life's greatest blessings begin and end with family. It is in families that we learn to love, teach what is most important, and grow together in love and laughter. Grateful for you. Happy to be yours. Oh, send a love if you love that as much as I do. I just think that is so heartwarming. And this stamp set, of course, makes this cute little tree. We did that by stamping it 1/2 here, 1/2 here. And then we didn't have to use the stem because there were die cuts, but moving forward, you would of course use that. It's not a stem, it's a trunk. Then we've got some great sayings, including sister, daughter, brother, dad, mom, son. To my wonderful, happy Father's Day, happy Mother's Day. I'll always be here for you. And then the family where life begins and love never ends. So cute, hey? What's this one here? I'm glad you are my family. Oh, love it. So again, $29 if you want that kit, and it includes the stamp set, the ink spot, everything that you're going to need to make those cards. Okay, you guys ready to actually get stamping here a little bit? Do you want to see the cards that we're going to be making? Okay, here's your little teaser. This is the first card that I'm going to show you how to make today, and it's including some really cute dies and stamps from our mini catalog. The second one that we're going to make is I'll always look up to you no matter how much I've grown, or I did a different alternative too with Here for You, which is just a little bit more generic. This one I'm planning on using for Mother's Day. Shh, don't tell my mom. And then this one has got a really fun opening with our Grace's Garden Gate. I love that. And then the last one here is our bird stamp set, which is called Free as a Bird. And then that one's got some fun texture elements. Okay, you guys ready? I'm going to start you off with this first one here. All right, so I'll show you what products we're using, because this time of year there's always lots going on. So I'm going to go through and show you what we're using, including the things that are retiring. So we're using our Baker's Twine with Night of Navy and Sahara Sand. That one's 30% off right now. And then for punches, we've got two different punches going on. One is from our annual catalog, which is moving forward. It's our Timeless label. And then one is from our mini catalog, which is here, Label Me Fancy. And this is the one that's going on top here. And it's just a little bit smaller. This one has fun little slot and hole punch, so you can turn them into tags. Then, just moving back to this before I forget, we're also using an embossing folder, Pinewood Planks, and that's on the side here to create that dock kind of a look. And hi Vivian, welcome. So many of you on a Friday afternoon. How nice is this? And then of course our stamps are by the dock, and that includes the dock and the boat and the little oars, and of course the framelits cut out all of those different things. I like that the framelits also cut out the little paddles by themselves, and you don't have to do any stamping at all. It's going to give you that texture of the wood grain as well. And take a look at all the stamps in this stamp set, because you're definitely going to see those on another project that we're making here today. Okay, so first of all, I've done a bit of stamping already, and if you ever get a project from me and it's in one of these little baggies, make sure you save it. These are totally mailable clear plastic envelopes, and I just love them because then the mailman gets a treat as well, and your products or your project, your card, stays safe while it's in the mail. It doesn't get wet, and it's easily wipeable now if you want to give it a wipe down with your Lysol wipe. I'm using snail still because I can. It's still around. I'm going to just put a little bit of snail on here. Now you'll notice I did it a lot longer than the card that I'm putting it on, or the sides that I'm putting it on. And that's because when you texture emboss something, it kind of corrugates the paper and it shortens it up. So it drives me crazy if it's not the same length. So what I like to do is just glue it on there, flip it over, and then using some paper snips, I just snip so it's the perfect length. Okay, now I'm up to my sneaky old ways again and using the middle of my cardstock, because I figure why not add another layer when I'm using that cardstock anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and snail this on. The other night when I was crafting online, I finished 3 snails, so it doesn't even matter if you guys are in my room or not. The same old lies true. And when the snails start to go, they all go at the same time. I couldn't believe it. Every single one I would get a couple strips out of, and then it would be gone. Okay, so I'm going to layer this up. I'm going to layer this right now too. I'm going to use some dimensionals. I like using the big ones, especially on camera because the backs come off a lot easier. You know, of course I say that now, right? Hi Paula, welcome. So we're going to just put that on there like this, and I put it on so that I could have 1, 2, 3, 4, so that the dock would go here and there would just be a little bit kind of peeking out from around there, and the boat, and that I could put my happy birthday tag there, and then these would be peeking out here. So for that tag, we can start working on that. I'm going to put a couple dimensionals, but not right at the end here, because you'll see that I'm actually going to be cutting that part off. And then I put some snail on there. I take my baker's twine and I wrap it around twice. It might just be a little bit too long for that. Oh, come on. Seriously. Okay, we're going to try a different way because that doesn't want to work with me right now. Then you can wrap it around like that. I love seeing those loves come in. I love seeing your comments. So if you guys are joining me, let's really start that community and post your comments because I can see. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. So we've got it wrapped around like that. And then we're going to take off our little dimensionals and we'll put it where we want to, kind of hanging over the side a little bit. And then the same thing, we're going to just trim it off. I sure miss seeing your faces. When we did our crafting night the other night, it was really fun to do Zoom and see everyone. And everyone listened so well when I was doing my tutorial because I muted their mics. It was so good. All right, for this project here, I've stamped my images with the Memento. So you could definitely use StazOn or Memento. It doesn't matter which, but depending on which ink you're going to be using, different methods to color. So if you're using Memento, which is a water-based ink, you're going to be using our alcohol-based blends markers. If you're using our StazOn, you will be using whatever other kind of coloring tool. So it could be water-based marker, it could be watercolor pencils, could be blender pens used with ink. I'm starting here with some soft suede. I'm just pulling my colors right out of the card. So soft suede and crumb cake is what I'm using. So soft suede, crumb cake, and then I made my seagull yellow because I wanted a little bit of color in the card. I know that seagulls aren't yellow, but hey, this is my card. I can do what I want. So coloring, I love how quickly these blends color. And I'm just going to do these posts quickly in the dark. And you'll notice I'm doing just a rough color. Some people like to start with the lighter one. Oh, you know what? I did start with a lighter one this time. Whoopsie. Okay, I'll go over it with the dark here. Some people like to start with the lighter one and then go to the darker one and then do the lighter one again. I typically start with the darker one and skip a step and just go to the lighter one to finish it off. But this time I'm going to be doing it, of course, different because I grabbed the wrong marker. Oh well. Okay, so then I can just color right over with these blends. They're just beautiful markers and so forgiving, truly, because once the color is on the paper, you can still move it around. So you can see there's a little bit of not blending happening here, but I can go back in and color over top and just get even more blending. And then I'll do the little rope here. Ta-da! And then of course our little seagull. Now I'm just going to quickly color the boat and one of the oars, and then I'm going to go back and color the other oar later after I finish my video. Because you guys don't need to see me color for hours, right? I mean, some of you may have more time on your hands than others. I love that you're spending a Friday afternoon with me. Thank you. What else are you doing? Are you sitting out in the sun? Are you like me? You're inside in a basement? I'm using my crumb cake now. That's the dark one. And I'm just following Stampin' Up's. Hi, Bilkis. I'm just following Stampin' Up's guidelines. They've already put the shading in there where the shadows are, so I just follow their beautiful artisan designs and then color it in. Okay, and then for this one oar, just to color it in quickly here, I'm going to go really fast. I cut my nails off so I don't have my big talons today. Don't help me as much when I'm peeling off dimensional backers. I got 6 weeks of growth out of them though. That was a pretty good thing, I guess. I don't know. We got to laugh about these things these days, right? Okay, and then for the back of our boat here, I'm going to use up some of my weird shaped dimensionals. Okay, so we've got our boat. We'll put that in here. We've got our dock. I like that it can just go off the side, and you can choose to color it right to the edge or leave a bit of a halo around as well, whatever you choose. Well, that's a little bit crooked for my liking. There we go. I think that's better. And then with these oars, I just kind of tucked them like this, and this last oar, of course, I haven't colored in, so I will finish that later, but that's how you get the look of the card there. What do you guys think? Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, whatever you figure. All right, on to the next one here. Let me shift gears and get my next box here ready to go. So the next card that I'm going to be making for you is this one here, where you can either do it straight or crooked, and you can either do it with the mom and the daughter or the woman looking like Belle out into the field. So I've got all the stuff ready to go here, and I've stamped this with Memento again, so I'm going to be using my blends again. So one little tip that I have to show you is that, oh, thank you, Sharon. So one little tip is that we've got some of our in color ribbon here, and I've tucked it just in the side here. Oh, hi, Sandy. I'm so happy you think it's awesome. Thank you. So it's just in the side here, so it's kind of tucked along the back, and I didn't want you to miss that part because it's kind of hidden. All right, so starting off, I've got everything already done. Let me get out my catalogs again here to show you what we're using. So from the mini catalog again, we're using this Parisian Blossom Specialty Designer Series paper. And that includes this piece here, which is my favorite sheet of the whole pack. It's got beautiful French cursive text embossed in champagne. And with this design, I actually used two different designs of the Designer Series paper with the flowers, so you can see that there. There's also this sheet with the embossed Eiffel Towers. The back side has these beautiful designs. Then we've got locks and keys. I think that kind of is reminiscent of all the bridges in Europe that have all the locks locked onto the railings. Fleur-de-lis on the back side. We've got beautiful travel and postage stamps, and then the back side of that has postage stamps too. So really nice paper, and again, this is leaving us this catalog, so right now it's 20% off. Really good deal. On this page here, I can show you the stamp set that we're using for the two images. Now, you'll notice that this is kind of a similar design to some of our other sets that we have. So like For a Good Man is the set with the men, and you can actually build up a family. I really love the look that you can get by putting these images together, and they've done them at the same scale so that you can put the man and with the little boy on his shoulders, and you can create a whole family. I just think it's beautiful. This one has really great sayings, but we're actually not using those in this project. We are using the sayings from, ta-da, the set that we just used. So I'll always look up to you, no matter how much I've grown, is from here, as well as Here for You. I really love this one, but I couldn't work it into the projects this month. Hi, Deanne. Thank you for making a difference in my life. What a great saying. And of course, happy birthday. So this set is great for images and also sayings. And it doesn't have a big cross through it, so you'll be able to get it actually coming in the new annual catalog. And Stampin' Up! Is doing something a little bit different, where the bundle and save 10% is actually moving forward too into the annual catalog. So hooray! You can still get a deal on it. And then you can get some of your other items from the retiring list sooner than the other ones. Okay, scallop linen ribbon that comes in our 5 in colors. That's also not retiring. And come on, There we go. And then already selling out actually are these beautiful faceted gems, and the catalog will never do them justice. So we've got the clear faceted gems and the gold faceted gems. The gold ones I checked earlier, and those ones are actually sold out already, but the clear ones are still available. They kind of look like a silver color, but they call them clear, and they're just beautiful. That's the one that I'm using on the project here today. I don't know if you can even see that too well, but it's just right here. Okay, let's get started. So to put together our card, I'll get started on that because I know you guys want to see how it all comes together. Some of you might know how to color already. That might be the boring part for you. You already know that, but I also like to give tips on coloring because I think it's always good to see how other people are doing it. So I'm going to take my designer series paper. I have all the same design. That's kind of funny, isn't it? I'm going to go crooked this time. And then I've got that one piece with the cursive. That's going to come in from the side. And then, before I forget, I'm going to put on this beautiful ribbon. And you can hide it and just show the little bit of scallop coming up the edge there. Ribbon scissors are so important when you're trimming this off. I'm so happy you guys are joining me. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. All right, and then that will be ready to go for sticking on here. Looks like I'm using mini dimensionals now. Ugh. Hope I can peel these backs off on camera. Hey, this is working well. Should go get a lottery ticket. Okay. Then that goes like this. At this point, I can even glue this on too because my blends don't really warp the paper very much, so I don't have to worry about that. There we go. But I'm going to wait to stick this on because it kind of goes over top of her. So I'm going to finish coloring her first. So if you want to get the look like what I've done here with a little bit of a halo around our figurines, you're going to be using a few different blends here. There we go. So I like to have my color lifter handy because this technique is really great for that. Now I'm going to make sure that I got my light pool party marker. There we go. And I'm going to start by doing a halo around them. And this can be just really loose. And then I can kind of expand it on. This marker is starting to dry out a little bit. I'm going to be sure to purchase a couple more of these ones. I always go through a lot of the light pool party because I do this technique a lot. And you may have noticed that on the retired list, all of the blends were listed, which is kind of heart-stopping until you realize what they're doing. And they have decided that they're going to be moving forward with blends just as combo packs in the future. So you get the light and the dark one. So that's the reason why you'll see all of them on the retired list. None of them are actually retiring, but they're all going to be on the list. So you can see that that looks a lot more harsh than, I don't know if you guys could even see where I was coloring. I hope so. You can see that line there is a lot more harsh than my sample. And the way that we can soften that up is with our color lifter, which is essentially going to work as a bleach. And I just go around that edge and soften it all. Can you guys see that? We need to move things here. There we go. So I just do that a little bit and then I let it soften it. It's going to work its magic a little bit. While we do that, I'm going to make sure that I grab my ivory. I'm notoriously grabbing the petal pink instead of the ivory. The ivory just has a little bit more brown in it than the petal pink. And that's great for the project that I'm working on. I'm emulating my family, and so I'm kind of copying our skin colors. But I want to mention that we do have a bronze marker, and using the two markers in combination, you can actually recreate any skin tone that occurs on this beautiful planet of ours. So I'm using the ivory. You can also use the bronze. I'm going to use the bronze for our hair because that's what my family's hair color is. And these two are going to be sold as a combo as well moving forward. So the only marker that will be sold individually will be our color lifter. Okay, so now you can see this has softened it up quite nicely. I might even go back even a little bit more and just soften it up even more. Scribble around. Let that dry for a minute. Now with their clothing, you can do a couple of different looks. So with this one here, I just did hers as a big long dress. With this one, I gave it a little bit more color, but I still wanted to stay within my color range here. So light gray granite. And then I just kind of did a bit of a halo, and maybe her dress will be gray granite as well. I'm doing opposite of what I normally do. Normally I start with the dark, but I'm going to make her shirt pink just like this one here. But when you do it, the petal pink, it's just a little bit too close to the skin color for my liking. So here we go. I'll go back with the light color over top of that and then blend it all. Now I'll go in with the dark petal pink and finish up her shirt. And starting off with the gray just gives it a little bit more depth and dimension. I can even go back in with the gray granite and do some more because it pretty much wiped it out actually that time. It's funny. There we go. You can keep playing with these. It's so nice. Put a bit of color lifter over the top to just soften that all. You can make them walk in the green grass or on a path, whatever you choose. I'm going to do some green grass this time. So I'm going to again do the same sort of thing. Got some granny apple green. Do the color lifter. Make sure that it's color lifter. And I can soften that whole thing. Now for the little girl's dress, I'm going to take our dark, pretty peacock and follow the lines that they've given me of the folds. There we go. Hi Brenda. Hi Shauna. It's good to see you guys. I wish I could see your faces. We'll have to do another Zoom. I'm thinking, let me know what you think about this. Shower me with some loves or likes if you like this idea. Because I think that we should have a hangout on Zoom, maybe on a weekly basis. And I'm thinking I'm going to call it, what did I say? Sip and Stamp. And maybe it's a Tuesday evening. And I provide you with a link to the Zoom meeting. You guys grab whatever projects that you want to work on, and then we can do a little hangout where we see each other's faces. I would just love that. Now, I'm looking everywhere here, and I can't find where my little embellishment is, so I have to grab one. I had it cut all ready to go. I've lost it in the mess of my table, so I'll have to use one of these ones. So let's take this medium one. Stick it there, and then I've also got my little saying. Hi Brenda, I love those. Thanks for giving me some hearts. I'm feeling the love from you guys, thank you. Okay, so we'll stick that there. Now we've got our beautiful finished cards. Oh, look what I found. Of course, right? We'll save that for another project. I'll need it for sure. Okay, you guys ready for the next card that I'm going to be showing you how to make? Let me switch gears here again. This one's got a bit of a fun fold going on. So this one opens up, and then we've got our beautiful saying on the inside. And I'll show you how to make that one. So I've already scored my cardstock so that it's 2 3/4 inch on this side and 2 3/4 on this side. Basically, how I figure that out is a normal card, half of it is 2 3/4, right? You guys are with me. Now, one thing that I'm a little bit anal retentive about are patterns. That's one thing. And the other thing is putting things on straight. But my one thing is patterns. So I love that I was able to prep this card and make sure that the pattern is going to align. So make sure that you are checking your pattern so that it aligns perfectly. Oh, I love it. So once you get that perfectly aligning pattern, then you're going to flip it over and then you're going to adhere this on. Now, when you adhere it on, there is only a border on the outside edge, not on this middle edge, because that's going to just go straight into the other piece. Kind of tricky. That sounds wonderful. That my sip and stamp event, Brenda. Oh, I'm so happy that you're excited too. I am as well. So you guys can see I can put that pattern perfectly together and make my beautiful card open up with a matching pattern. Oh, and the angels are singing. I have stamped this one now with the Stays On ink. So this ink is perfect for when you're using watercolor pencil. So I've got my 2 watercolor pencil packages. The first one, which is the original one that Stampin' Up! Came out with, has your really core colors. It comes with 13, including a Whisper White, so you can lighten things up as well. This second assortment is the perfect add-on. So instead of real red, for the main one, you get Cherry Cobbler, which is a deeper red, but not your total classic red. It also gives you Flirty Flamingo, which is the perfect middle between your Rich Razzleberry and Melon Mambo. Same things with blues. It gives you some really wonderful complementary blues like Balmy Blue and Coastal Cabana that would complement the Bermuda Bay and Pacific Point. So I find that these ones really work together, and I use equally from both of them, depending on what I'm coloring. But pretty consistently, I use from both of them. So this one here, stamped in Memento. So I'm going to be using my, or sorry, not Memento. I said Stays On, right? Hello. Words are hard. Okay, so I'm going to glue that on. And that's not a problem for me because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. So I wanted my fold to open up like the gate was beckoning us into the card. And what I'm going to do here is make sure that I only put adhesive on half of it. 1/2. I don't like how this snail is feeling today. Different one. That's better. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more on there. So then I'm going to perfectly center this. And now I'm going to color it. Now for this card here, I did a beautiful watercolor wash in behind with my aqua painter and an ink pad. So let me show you here how you can do that, because we'll get that drying and then I'll show you the products that I'm using out of the catalogs. So when you've got your ink pads, you can smush them, or you can even put a drop of re-inker into the top and then work it like a palette. I know this is one of the old ones. I grabbed it just quickly. Okay, so we are going to start. I like to start and put my brush down where there's going to be something covering it up. So this gate is going to go here, so I don't have to worry too much about perfecting it when I do it like that. Now this cardstock is Whisper White, so I don't want to go too crazy with the water and be squishing my aqua painter, because it's just going to be too much for this paper. And you'll notice I'm going right over top of the flowers. I don't care about that because I'm going to add more colors to the flowers afterwards. So right now I'm just giving that nice washed background look. Can you guys see that? It's really nice and subtle, but you can really see it in person. The aqua painters are on the retired list, and they're already retired, but don't worry, they're just being reconfigured, so we don't have to worry. We're going to have something very similar coming out. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a second and show you the products that we're using for this card. So starting off in our mini catalog, we'll flip first to Grace's Garden, which is a beautiful set that's continuing forward, and I'm so glad it is, because it truly is stunning. The Garden Gateway dies are really spectacular. We are using the die here to cut out this stamped image here. And it includes a couple of different dies as well. So this one here actually embosses and cuts out this beautiful arch and little gate, and you can snip that little gate open and create this beautiful 3D card that just beckons you right into it. So lots of fun options here. This little arch here would be cutting out in behind so that you get a little peekaboo. There's also some sprigs and some dies that cut out the different images that you can stamp to. So lots of options here. And again, Stampin' Up! Is doing something a little bit different, and this bundle and save 10% is not going to be discontinued. That's moving forward into the annual catalog as well. So hooray, yay, we can get it even into the next catalog at a discount. So that's our first product that we're using. We're also using the Mint Macaron Sheer Linen Ribbon. That's quite a small ribbon, but I just love it. That one's discontinued as well. And then from our annual catalog, I'm using our Garden Lane Designer Series paper. So any one of these prints would look perfect with this card. You can see I've got a couple of different prints going on in my samples. So that one's 30% off right now. That's a good deal. That one just has a few different greens in the color. So Garden Green, Mint Macaron, Mossy Meadow, Pear Pizzazz, and Soft Sea Foam. And you just match it with whatever you want. We've got a couple of punches that we're using here. I used a punch for this Hello, and that's this classic label here. And that was so I could get a starting point that was straight on the top and bottom, and then we'll just snip off the sides. You can see I did a nasty job punching, but it doesn't matter because we just have to trim it off there. And then we're using, for the inside of our card, we're using our everyday label. And that's, I need more hands. There we go. So our everyday label there, stamped or punched vertically. Okay, let's go back to our project here, because I think we're dry. That looks good. All right, and I'm going to start applying some color. So using my watercolor pencils, I'm going to grab my gray, and I'm going to start doing some of this gate. I can choose to color in like a normal pencil crayon, or I can do a couple of different techniques. So I'll show you coloring in like a normal pencil crayon first, and then coming in with a blender pen. If you don't have blender pens, these I think are just a staple to have in your crafting space. They look like this, so they're a little bit different than the Aqua Painter. The Aqua Painter, you put a liquid inside. We recommend water, but you can use alcohol as well. These ones come with a solution inside, and they're double-ended. They will last you forever. You just have to scribble off until it scribbles clear, and then you're ready to move on to the next color. They're so great to use with a technique like this with the watercolor pencils, but you can also take any ink pad and scoop up ink from the lid, or re-inkers, or you can use our pigment sprinkles. You can use all different kinds of things with this. So it just blends it all. These watercolor pencils are really beautiful to work with. So I'm just going to put that to the side and let it dry. And again, I'm going to scribble off and get ready to do some beautiful colors. I'm going to do some gorgeous grape. This is actually supposed to be from this pack here. I must have put it away wrong last time. Another way that you can use these watercolor pencils is to pick up the ink straight off the pencil, and then you can paint with it. This is nice to use when you've got a color that's already on the paper and your paper might still be a little bit wet. I don't recommend coloring with the pencil crayon onto paper that's wet. You will never be able to blend in those coloring lines, so those pencil scrapey lines. There we go. And now, so while I'm in the same kind of colors, I'm going to grab a pink. Let's do Rich Razzleberry, and I'm just going to scribble off a little bit. Oops, pink. Pick up some pink, and I can come in and do my other colors here, my other flowers. There we go. So beautiful. Coloring is so therapeutic, isn't it? You don't see too many of those coloring books anymore. But I figure, why would we use a coloring book when we have a book full of amazing stamped images? You could just color your catalog if you wanted to. You could be busy for weeks. I love coloring though. What's your favorite method of coloring? Do you like using the watercoloring pencils? Do you like your blends? Write in. Send me a comment. I can see what you write. I'd love to see. All right, so I've got all my pinks and my purples on there. Now I'm going to add some greens in. I'm going to go with the Old Olive. And again, I'm just going to pick it up like this, and I'm just going to apply a bit of a wash. There we go. I really like the looseness of this drawing because it lends itself to really lazy coloring. That's fun too, isn't it? Okay. And a little bit along the bottom. And then there's a little bit of grass here at the bottom here. So let's put on some grass there. Some green grass. Okay, scribble off. The last thing that we need to color is our cute little cat. So what color should our cat be? I'm going to do an orange cat. I'm just going to color straight on there. Just very loose coloring, you can see. And then I'll come over here, just blend that color in. There we go. All right, now we're ready to roll. We can put this beautiful card together. So I've still got only one side glued down, right? Now I've got this wash done across and it's dried. So now I can create my card so that it has the nice opening. And the reason why I did it this way is rather than having two sheets of paper that you cut and you piece together, it's easier to get a beautiful wash going across the back when it's all connected, rather than, you know, do it on this side and then try to match it up on this side. Brenda says, I like using the watercolor pencils with the blender pen, but there are so many great techniques. I agree. So now we've got this other piece that's just cut right off. And now we can glue this onto the other side. And then just piece together the pieces here. Oops, not like that. There we go. And then for our gate, we're going to snip it in half, put some dimensionals on the back side here. There we go. And then we're going to stick it all together. Now we've got our beautiful gate, which will open and beckon us into the card. Ta-da! Now, this little cat needs a dimensional on it too. I'm just going to put him right over here. And then for the inside stamped image, to get this centered, I've already stamped and punched it out here, but to get this centered, I'm going to open up one side and just sneak it in here and align it perfectly centered. And then, ta-da, we've got it beautifully centered. Okay, now you hope you haven't lost your little piece of paper. Oh, it's on the floor. Your little piece of paper with the hello. So again, this has got a nice straight top and bottom, and we're just going to snip the sides off so that it looks so beautiful. And a little bit of snail adhesive on there. I just took this little piece of ribbon here, folded it in half, and then kind of laid it in behind there. It's such a small piece, but it really adds, I think. And then we're going to just snip and snip. You can finesse that a little bit more, of course, when you're not on live camera to the internet. A couple little dimensionals there. Then you hope you can get off your dimensional backers. And then we just stick our little hello right on there. Ta-da! So cute, hey? You can do all different colors of flowers. So I did yellow on this one. I like how that turned out too. There we go. All right, that's your third card that I'm showing you today. Now for the last card that I want to show you today, it's featuring my favorite suite, which is very near and dear to my heart. This is the one that I was so proud to get to present at On Stage in Vancouver. We've got all kinds of goodies here that we're going to be using for this card. But I have to admit, I've used a special piece of machinery to cut out this rather than fussy cutting. But you can definitely do it and save yourself the $500 machine. It's a Brother Scan and Cut, just in case you're wondering. But it does not replace my Big Shot or my die cutting tools, especially not the die cutting tools that are coming out soon from Stampin' Up, because those are going to be amazing. I wanted to mention we're using the brand new Gilded Gems on this card, and the camera will never do it justice, but look at those. Aren't they beautiful? So these are really spectacular. They come in a pack of 90 of them. They're $9.50, and they are available now, even though they're coming out from the new catalog. They've given us a sneak peek so we can actually use them now. Hooray! So if you want to order them this month along with all your retiring stuff, be sure to do that. Let's go through what products we're using here. So we're using the Bird Ballad suite. The Free as a Bird bundle is not going to be available. And I really recommend that you get this because it has the most amazing stamp set, in my opinion. It's got wonderful sayings. We're the best of friends. The world needs more of you, which is just the best saying ever. Hello, thanks for being you. Thank you. Your friendship means the world to me. But most of all, you want to get 10% off these nested label stitch dies. These are the most popular tool in this annual catalog, and for good reason. These match up so perfectly, and they give you this beautiful detail on the inside and the outside of the cutting edge. These are my dies that I reached for 90% of the time whenever I need a shape, because it's just so perfect. You can also adjust the shape. So imagine you've cut out a piece of paper, then you move that piece of paper over like this so that the end is here and it extends out this way. Run it through your die cutting machine again, and you can cut off this section and make your tag as long as you want this way. So you get lots of versatility. This little strip here is just an embossing strip. It doesn't do any cutting at all. So for example, you can see on this project, I used it just along the edge here. I lined it with the side of my gold foil paper, and it just gave that beautiful embossed look. So stunning. Okay, so I know you guys want to get 10% off those. Be sure to order them before June 2nd when this catalog ends, and you won't be able to get the 10% off anymore, even though both of those products are still continuing forward. Excuse me. The Bird Ballad Designer Series paper is another one of my favorites because it is spectacular. And it's really unique because this Designer Series paper was actually colored in by the Stampin' Blends, or with the Stampin' Blends by Stampin' Up's designers. So you too can color like this. So isn't that spectacular? The back side of the paper is really cute too. But you've got lots of beautiful designs. This one's really fun. You've got all your birds colored in. You've got feathers and stripes. You can see I've got all bits and pieces in this set. I should have cleaned it up a little bit. You guys know which pieces I like best. This one here is just beautiful. If you love fussy cutting, you can cut out all these little birds on their branches, or you could just use a strip of this as your background. Or how about this as just a card front with a little saying? Oh, spectacular. So, so pretty. And then I think that's it, except for the sheet that we're using here on this card, which is, which one is it? With the one with the flowers on it. Okay, so that's from the annual catalog. Oh, and that's 30% off right now, so be sure to get that. Then we've also got some gold foil on this card, and that's with one of these cute little tags that we're going to cut in half and put peeking out the sides here. So with our foil sheets, only one is retiring, and that is the black one. So if you like this idea of the foil sheet and you want to get the black one, which almost looks like shiny patent leather, I really like that. Be sure to get that before the end of this catalog. Okay, let's get started with creating this card here. So using your Whisper White with the background, I'm going to put on my sheets of designer series paper on the top and the bottom. All right, gotta make myself some room here. So I've got my little sheets of designer series paper, and this is going to make it look like I've put a layer over top and put designer series paper all along the back of this card front, or the front of this card front. There we go. Our strips there. Now this piece here, we used to have a technique or a tool that would do this to rough up the edges, but guess what? We've all got tools. We've got our scissors, and we can rough up this edge and create this awesome extra bit of texture and interest. So you're gonna have some paper fuzz going on, but that's okay. There we go. So then some dimensionals on the back side of that. I've misplaced my large dimensionals, which I like best. We'll use these ones, the edges. So 4 of those. And then that can go onto our card base, like so. Then I'm going to create more interest. I mentioned before, but we're going to cut this little gold tag in half. And then with some dimensionals on the back side here. Ah, there they are. Ta-da! So just some dimensionals on the ends here to create even more interest. Okay, there we go. So have that little piece sneaking out. Then it makes it look like you've got this beautiful horizontal element. Hi Sarah, thanks for joining. So you got this horizontal element peeking out, but it's really just a secret piece there. Okay, I'm going to put some snail on here just to make sure that that holds on nicely. Okay, get it on straight. There we go. Now I've used, full disclosure, I used a retired punch or washi punch, but it's just so that I could once again get the horizontal top and bottom straight, because I'm just going to use this as a rectangle. And then I'm going to glue this onto my project so I don't lose any bits like the other projects. So let's get this glued on and then I'll color it for you. What do you guys have planned for this weekend? Doing anything exciting? Enjoying this beautiful weather? You could be saying all kinds of things to your camera, but I don't hear you. We'll have to do a Zoom. What do you guys think? Tuesday night? Sunday afternoon? What would work best for you? I'm going to put that there. And then I've got my beautiful Gilded Gems that I'm going to stick on. So one up there. Have I lost the other two? Nope, they're over here. Second biggest over here. The biggest one over there. And then I just tied this in a bow. This is our Whisper White Baker's Twine, which I actually didn't even show you on the tour, but this is also retiring. I can't believe it. It's such a standard item. Make sure you get some because you'll want to be using it. I stuck it on with a glue dot. There we go. And I just tuck that right underneath here. Okay, so now what colors did I use to color these beautiful birds? Well, I kind of had fun, and I'll show you what I did. To get this kind of gradient look here, I started off with the Calypso Coral. I'm going to use the dark one here because I'm feeling crazy. And I just put that at the bottom. All of my birds are the same. You could do whatever you want for your birds. All of my birds are the same. I'm going to put just a hint of another color, which is just a lighter version of the Calypso Coral right next to it. Then I'm going to go into my dark smoky slate. And we'll start doing the heads. And I left their little beaks so I could color them in yellow. There we go. I love this set so much. And I'm happy that everybody else does too. It's nice when you see everyone just gravitating towards using a product. You just know it's so hot. And if you guys aren't on Pinterest, please look on Pinterest. There are so many ideas on there. I'm using right now the dark Daffodil Delight, which is quite a vibrant yellow. But I'm doing this technique because I have my color lifter. Hi, Auntie Cindy. Oh, what a nice surprise. And hi, Carrie. Hi, Rhonda. That's so fun. So we're using the color lifter now, and I'm just going to go over that transition between colors and just rub it until it starts to blend. Same for all of these. You can really start to see it working. What a fun surprise. The internet is a small place when you get out there, hey? So you can just keep blending, and these alcohol markers will just keep working away here. Go. I can hear supper starting to be cooked upstairs. What a wonderful sound that is. I could just stay down here for hours. Okay, so I'm going to let that work a little bit, and then I can come back to it if I need to. Using, again, pulling colors from the Designer Series paper, I'm going to be using Crumb Cake, the dark one here, and I'm going to make little shadows on the branches and a bit of variance in color there. I'm going to just move this, The World Needs More of You, just so I can color without touching it. So you guys know that it goes there. I'll put it there afterwards. So going over with the light, then I'm going to just follow this kind of a color scheme here for my flowers, and using my dark Calypso Coral. Again, these are the most forgiving markers you'll ever own. Be sure to take a look through your sets and see if you have any unmatched pairs, because you'll want to get those before they switch to only duos moving forward. So now coming back in over top with the light Calypso Coral, and I'm going to use a smaller brush end. I want a little bit more direct application. Now remember that the Designer Series paper here is colored with the Stampin' Blend, so you can use that as a guide too. So I'm going to start doing my leaves with the darker one and just come in exactly where the lines are. And then I can create a little bit of light and shadow. They've done such a good job of restraining themselves from coloring in the entire leaf. We'll see if I'll be able to do it. I'm often not, but that's why we have the color lifter, because we can just add those little highlights afterwards. Okay, so just quickly going over top, coloring those leaves. I have to remember to do those little beaks. Can't forget about those beaks. These alcohol markers are so different than using water-based markers. You'll know if you're using water-based markers, because if you draw a scribble like this, you will see all of the lines, whereas these just blend. That one's a little bit more dry. So take a look at this. Isn't that incredible? And then you can, of course, blend and lift by going back with that color lifter. So I'm pretty happy with how these birds turned out. I'm just going to go in again where I have a little bit more of a harsh line happening between the gray and the yellow. And then of course you can hit these little leaves with a bit of a highlight if you want. Let's do these beaks. And ta-da, you got your finished card. Oh, I hope you enjoyed. Oh, Sandy, thanks so much for saying that. All right, well, let me just show you the 4 cards again so we can kind of have a little summary, and then I'll turn the camera around. You can see my face one more time. There you go. So there are 4 cards that I showed you how to make today. We also showed the paper pumpkins that are available. I have those in stock, so if you want them, just let me know. Let me just turn this around here. And on my face. Hi! It's me! And it's you! And I'm so happy that you joined me today. Thank you so much, whether it's live or if it's in the replay. I really appreciate you spending time with me, and I hope to stamp with you very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!